So this video is going to be a little bit weird. I'm going to go ahead and apologize ahead of time. I don't know how badly it's getting picked up on the mic, but there's a bunch of crickets outside of my home, or specifically outside of my window, and they are just chirping the hell away. So yeah, crickets are kind of loud. I don't really see the waveform from them on the mic, so I'm assuming that it's not really picking them up, but I'm pretty sure something's getting picked up, and I'm hoping noise reduction will get rid of it. So if it doesn't get rid of it, ignore the last minute or so of whatever I said. If it does get picked up, I'm extremely sorry. Spirit Reaper. I have not seen that card in such a long time. Such a good card, and it's my favorite set of cards in that. Not like the ability per se, but the sort of balancing of it. It's a good card with a good effect, but also not incredibly unbalanced, because you can easily get rid of it if you prepare for it. But at the same time, it could also really help you. So it's just a really good card for both sides of the spectrum. I just really like, in general, that concept of balancing the good with the bad. Like, for example, in My Hero Academia, I like that some heroes have their quirks balance out. Like, what? No, I don't want to activate anything. Like, I forgot what his name is. He's one of my favorite characters who never has a name. But the naval laser guy, he can, you know, shoot out a fucking laser beam, but he gets a tummy ache if he uses it too much. You know, that's a valid. Do I want to do this? Because then he won't get any crap to his hand. Yeah, why not? That's a valid, you know, weakness, and it's, you know, a decent enough ability, so it balances out. And then there's the, you know, the Gravity Girl. Same deal. Uses her ability too much, she gets a tummy ache, can't do anything. You know, that's all fine and dandy, balances out just fine. I do have some concerns with the fact that it seems like they might be doing away with that later on. I've only strictly seen the manga. I haven't, or sorry, seen the manga. I've only strictly read. God damn it! I've only strictly seen the anime. I haven't actually read the manga. I had the manga actually. It's funny. I read the first chapter. It was a long chapter, very first chapter, and I just did not like it. Did not like it at all. I was like, ah, fuck this. After, like, you know, spending so much time seeing the, like, art for it and stuff, I was like, wow, that looks really cool. I really want to, you know, start getting into that. And this was like way before it got really big. But then, you know, sometime, I think like when the first episode of the anime came out or somewhere early on that stage, I finally got a copy of the manga and I read it. And I just didn't like it. I'm like, fuck this shit. And then afterwards, season 1 ended, and I was like, oh, whatever, maybe the anime is a lot better. And I started watching the anime, and, you know, it was pretty fucking good. Not half bad. So, I don't know what it is about the anime, per se, that does it more justice than the, maybe I'll do this. That does it more justice than the manga. I think it was just really the first chapter. It just kind of dragged on a bit, and then maybe it was just the time that I read it. I just kind of wasn't feeling it. Ah, balls. Thank God I got Dark Blade, who has 100 more attack than this guy's defense. But yeah, I don't like it. For example, well, my original point was that I don't like that. It seems like they. Where I've seen in the anime so far, they're doing this training to like surpass their limits and get over their, you know, the weaknesses of their quirks, which is, you know, fine, understandable. That's, you know, something they should be doing. It's pretty important. But at the same time, it gives me the sort of fear that they're just gonna be fucking going ham, constantly using their quirks wherever they want, with no boundaries whatsoever, which is kind of lame. Because I think that's one of the biggest things that anime needs to have is a sense of balance. You know, you can't just have, you know, anyone doing whatever they want, because then there's no story to tell. In my opinion, the main interest in the story is the characters overcoming, maybe not hardship, but just overcoming challenges, right? So if your characters are able to do whatever they want, there is no challenge, so there is no story. Wow, that was interesting. As long as this card remains face up on the field, negate the effects of spell cards that target face-up warrior-type monsters on the field and destroy the spell card. I guess since he negated the effect, he didn't destroy him, which is cool. Nice. I learned something new. I didn't know you could actually do that. Anyways. So that's why I have a lot of problem with like One Punch Man. I like One Punch Man. I really like the first season, and I've read the manga, but like I don't really feel like there's too much else that can go on. I'm sure maybe it'll be interesting, but overall as a series, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, you kind of, you know, he's always gonna end up winning, and everything's gonna be hunky-dory at the end, so it doesn't really matter. Which is why I can never get into Mob Psycho 100, because I figured it was more or less the same, and I, you know, had a friend tell me that was kind of similar. So I just didn't bother. I just don't really see the point in those kinds of, maybe I can use you, and then use this, and then get rid of you. So now you can't use any of your effects. You can use that to make them a little bit stronger. And then put this, so next turn I can actually bring back Warrior, or DD Warrior Lady. Anyways. So that's what my big issue is, and that's why, for example, one of the characters that I don't like in My Hero Academia is Todoroki, the Ice and Fire guy, because they kind of made him really strong, and he has no real weakness. It's kind of just like, you know what, if he uses too much ice, he gets some ice on him. Ooh, it doesn't fucking matter, it doesn't hurt him. If he uses too much fire, he gets some fire on him. Ooh, it doesn't hurt him, so it doesn't really matter. But I guess I can, I should start giving him a pass, just because he's like technically biologically engineered to be good. So I guess that does, you know, give him a pass or whatever. But, and then there's Bakugo, for example. I cannot stand him, aside from, you know, being shitty. Just being a shitty character. He just, well, I'm gonna show you character. He's like a shitty person. Character-wise, whatever. It's the old boring archetype of, I hate everything, but I'm actually soft on the inside. But anyways, he also has no weakness either. And then, you know, it's kind of like, alright. I guess you're just really strong, and there's no, you know, drawback to your powers, like, at all. What the fuck is the point? I don't know. But I don't even remember what my, oh thank god, not like it really matters. I mean, I can flip this guy back to his hand, but that's not really gonna work too well, because he's just gonna summon it again, so it doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, I don't remember what my original point was getting to that. I think I was talking about it's Spirit Reaper, that's what it was. And then it flips up right here. Ah, no, this is your fate. Darn. Alright. But yeah. Similarly in Yu-Gi-Oh! I like those kinds of cards that, you know, they have their effects and they have their drawbacks. Because I feel like it's really fun. It's really interesting, specifically in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it's one thing in an anime or a series, right? That's one thing. That's one story being told. It's another thing for like a video game or a general game like this, where you can tell the story yourself. So you're able to have to deal with there's a specific phrase, but it's just not coming. But you're able to deal with the pluses and the minuses on your own. So you're able to mitigate that your own way, right? So you're able to find a way to make your minuses good or not as bad, and whatnot, and that you know, makes really interesting scenarios and situations and experiences and whatnot. So that's really cool. Whereas, like, the opposite is not as cool, where it's just kind of like, you know, playing super crazy powerful cards, and then there's just fucking nothing that can be done about it. It's just like, oh, okay, you get amazing advantage for no downfall. That's fun for everyone. I've been trying really hard in this entire month to not complain about certain things. I'm gonna try my best to continue not doing that. But I don't know, I really liked early Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because it was a lot of that. It was a lot of, you know, this concept of like, you know, you have these abilities and you have to try and use them to the best of your ability. Some of them, you know, you gotta mix and match things to make things work, and some things work against each other, you know, you gotta figure that out. Whereas now it's kind of like, who can pay the most of their, you know, mom and dad's pretty money to get all the good cards. It's kind of like, oh. But what do I know? I'm just a bitter old man complaining on the internet for no good reason. There's a point to all of this, but I've honestly forgotten it. But Skull Servant kind of sucks. I remember Skull Servant being really annoying, and I remember, for example, in Duel Links playing against Bones, that was kind of fun. Aside from the times when he used Pump Queen or Pump Princess, that was annoying as fuck. But when he used, you know, the Skull Servant deck, that was kind of fun. Cause I like Skull Servant. I thought it's an interesting archetype. So to see that actually come into play was cool. But this deck was. This duelist was horrible. Didn't even fucking put up half of a fight. It's like he's dead or something. Stay fresh.